whether it's Bible or Veda or Ramayana, they give permission to have non-veg. If you read the Hindu scriptures, the sages and sons, they had non-veg. They even ate beef. If you read Ayodhya Khandam, chapter number 20, chapter 26, chapter number 94, it says when Ram was sent for Banvas, he told his mother that I will have to sacrifice my tasty meat dishes. If he had to sacrifice tasty meat dishes, that means he had meat. When Ram can have meat, why can't you have meat? People may not know the details of Ramayana, but they surely know the outline story of Ramayana, that when Ram was sent for Banvas, even his wife Sita accompanied him. And once Sita asked Ram to kill the buck. You may be knowing the story, you know, it comes on the television and comic strips, that Sita asked Ram to kill the buck. You ask a Hindu friend, why did Sita ask Ram to kill the buck, to kill the deer? So some people may argue, oh, maybe Sita wanted a pet. So you ask that if Sita wanted a pet, what will Sita do with a dead pet? What will Sita do with a dead pet? She asked Ram to kill the buck because she wanted to eat the meat. There's no other answer. So when she can have non-veg, why can't you have non-veg? Now there are some of the people who argue saying that if you analyze, Hindu scriptures give permission. But the reason why they even became vegetarian is because they were being influenced by other philosophies like Jainism, etc., which believed in ahimsa. Now if you argue with the Jain and you argue with these Hindus now who have given up non-veg, some of them, when you ask them why should we not have non-veg, so they will tell you, non-veg is killing living creatures. If you kill living creatures, it's bad. Therefore you should have only plants. Today science is advanced and we have come to know that even plants are living creatures. Previously people thought plants have no life. But today we have come to know even plants are living creatures, they have life. So the argument has changed. Yes, Brother Zakir, we know that plants have life, but you know, plants can't feel pain. Therefore killing a plant is less a sin as compared to killing an animal. Today science has further advanced and we have come to know, even the plants can feel pain. They can even cry, they even feel happy. Do you know that? Researchers show to us today that the plants even feel happy, they can even cry, they feel pain. But the thing is, you cannot hear their cry. Because the human frequency is from 20 cycles per second to 20,000 cycles per second. Anything below and above this you can't hear. You know silent dog whistle? The dog can hear till 40,000 cycles per second. So the silent dog whistle is the frequency above 20,000 cycles per second so that the human beings can't hear, but below 40,000 cycles per second so that the dog can hear. So when the master whistles, the dog comes running, but human beings can't hear. So similarly, when the cry given out by the plant, the human beings can't hear because it is not within the range of the human hearing. But even the plants, they cry. There was a non-Muslim who had the maximum argument with me and said, okay brother, I agree with you, plants have got life, plants can feel pain, but you know, plants have got lesser senses. They have got 2 or 3 senses. Animal has got 5 senses. Therefore, killing animal is a bigger crime. So I said, I agree with you. For sake of argument, I agree with you that plants have got lesser senses, animal have got more senses. But I ask you a question, that suppose your brother, he is born deaf and dumb, 2 senses less, deaf and dumb. When he grows up, afterwards, someone comes and kills him. So will you go and tell the judge, oh my lord, give the murderer less punishment because my brother had 2 senses less. He was dumb and he was deaf. In fact, you will tell him, usne to masoom ko mara hai. He has killed an innocent person. You should give him double punishment. In Islam, the Quran gives permission that you can have meat. Quran says in Surah Ma'idah chapter 5 verse number 1, you can have the meat of the cattle, of the animal, 4-footed animal, with the exception name. Quran further says in Surah An-Nahl chapter 16 verse number 5, that of the meat you can eat. Quran says in Surah Mu'minun chapter 23 verse 21, that in the cattle is an instructive sign for you. We give you milk to drink from the bodies, and in them are various benefits of the meat you can eat. So very well, because Quran says you can have the good things that we have provided, there's no problem at all in having non-veg. Hope that answers the question.
There is a related question asked by another non-Muslim brother. Brother Giriraj would like to know, science tells us that whatever you eat has an effect on your behavior. Why does Islam allow Muslims to eat non-veg food? Because eating of animals makes a person violent and ferocious. Please explain.
The brother asked a question. that whatever you eat has an effect on our behavior, and I do agree with that. That's a scientific explanation. Whatever you have has an effect on our behavior. So why do you all have non-veg? Because of non-veg, you all are ferocious people, you know, all violent, fighting and terrorism and attacking. What you all eat has an effect on our behavior, and I do agree, science says that what you eat, it has certain things, certain times it has the effect on our behavior. Therefore, the Quran says in Surah Araf chapter 7, verse 157, it says that the Prophet has allowed you things which are good and has prohibited you from having things which are bad. He's made for you permissible things which are benefit for you and has prohibited you from having things which are wrong for you. That's the reason in Islam, the Prophet said, it's mentioned in Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim, you are not allowed to have the meat of the carnivorous animal like tiger, leopard, cat, etc. We are only allowed to have the meat of the herbivorous animal. You know, carnivorous animals, they are ferocious. We have meat of the herbivorous animal like cow, goat, sheep. So we have to behave, you know, as mild and as soft like the cow, like the goat, like the sheep. So whatever you eat has an effect on our behavior. We eat cow, beef, meat of the sheep and goat, which are herbivorous animal, you know, domestic animal, loving animal. We are not allowed to have meat of the canine animal, like, you know, tiger, lion, leopard, neither of the rodents like rat and reptiles. Our Prophet said in Sahih Bukhari, neither birds of prey like falcons, vultures, etc. So these are Prophet prohibited. Therefore, we are kind and peace-loving people.
Thank you, Dr. Zakir Naik. The question and answer session is over. Now I would like to ask our chairman, Mr. Saduddin Sali, to give a briefing.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, As-salatu wassalamu ala Rasul Kareem. Dr. Zakir Naik, brothers and sisters, except one lady, I thank Almighty Allah for having given me this opportunity to be with you and also to hear the scholarly vocabulary of Dr. Zakir Naik. He is an asset to the community, and not only to our community but to the mankind as a whole. We want such Zakir Naiks in many more numbers to discuss, not only give a speech, to discuss the questions which are coming like firing stones from the audience, and he can explain it better, thereby thwarting the disbelief and misunderstanding in our community as well as inter-communities. So I pray Almighty Allah to grant him strength and long life, and also congratulate his Islamic Research Foundation who are in this human service. I also congratulate at this juncture the team of Abdul Salam Puttige, my brother, and Mr. Yasin Sahib, who are actually in the field of Madhyama, which is the topic today. They are starting a daily newspaper. I congratulate him, and also I thank the organizers for having given me this opportunity. Thank you one and all. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
The last item for today's topic is vote of thanks. I thank our chairman, Mr. Sali, for having come here and accepted the invitation and conducted the meeting in a very nice way. And Dr. Zakir Naik, who has come all the way from Bombay and giving an excellent and thought-provoking speech and making us learn more about Islam and the religion. I also thank Mohamed Yasin Malpe and also Abdul Salam Puttige and for conducting these meetings. Thanks for all the audience for a patient hearing. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.